Hey everybody, good energy to you guys. So, feeling kind of like a draggier morning than other mornings, I suppose. But I just wanted to share, just spiritual strategies, and even for me, like I did go through, on and off, but I've gone through some serious video game playing phases, and um, there's really three. I guess there's about four, but the video game I've had dreams about and go back to and still feel desire to want to play, just because I never really was able to beat it all the way through, um, is Medieval Total War. It's a strategy-based game, where you're just in control of, like, well, not in control, you start off with a country, and then your objective is to control the world, conquer the world. And it's very much, you build up, you get troops, you get a certain little, like, 60 men here, 60 men there, 100 men here, and you develop an army. It's very realistic in a lot of ways, as far as, like, numbers and people and units and putting them together in formations and all that. And then you go around and, you attack other countries and you gain things and and it's a lot like that. But the thing about that game, militaristically wise, I was able to conquer the whole world. As far as defeating all the enemies, or all your enemies, or taking over the land temporarily. But the thing about that game, which was extremely challenging, and as I look back on it, it's a lot like real life in a lot of ways, because the issue I would be able to get to the 75%, dominating 75% of the world. I think I even got farther than that at one time. Excuse me, but the thing I always had trouble with is they kept on rebelling. Like, the lands I'd take over, a lot of them on the outskirts, they would continue to rebel against me. And so the game was very intricate in that you also had to, clearly there's something I was missing, and there was a lot of attention there was a lot of availability. I didn't pay a lot of attention. I think that's where I was lacking, is that in that game you also have to build all these different types of buildings, and then all these buildings have different reasons for being there, and they do different things for the area. And I think because I didn't pay enough attention to, like, what the locals needed, and the infrastructure of everything of the land, and the religion of the land, and the way of doing things in the land, because you have buildings that you can choose to make. So I built a lot of military stuff, and I would not pay attention to other things, and I would just think that all you had to do was brutally rule the world with force, essentially, and that would be enough. But you might rule it with your flag being in a certain building, but it doesn't mean you rule the land, and the people aren't agreeing to your rule. They're constantly fighting you. They're constantly nagging at you, rebelling all the time, and so you're constantly having to fight battles, and it's just a never-ending battle. And so that's pretty much where I got with that game, was to the level of where I was able to, like, conquer all their main armies, but then once those battles were over, it was dealing with the populace, and as a not paying attention to the populace, not knowing the populace, not having a good connection to how they do things, And I'm bringing this up because, it just taught me a lot in retrospect, and I've been thinking about the game a lot, and just, who I am and my purpose here is not so much to be any type of a spiritual guru or leader or anything like that, really, except to lead in a strategic way or pattern of doing things. And again, this goes into my nonprofit movement with I say mine, it's just the idea I have for this nonprofit movement that's honor-based, driven by hemp, and we're not selling it to make a profit. We're selling it just to pay for what we need to get by. And we can accept donations and this and that, and then we have the fun and healthy activities we use to help really develop our culture and bring about, having good fun that's good for humanity and the rest of the world too. So simple things like that are, I think, going to be the absolutely essential tools to help fucking change the situation. If I don't like not, I'm at times I feel hopeless. Not very often, but I do know that feeling of not having hope and just allowing things to crumble, and fucking saying, humanity's so fucked up and never gonna get their shit together. But in the grand scheme of things, in the grand creator of things, you know, in God's mind's eye, you got to realize, do you think God really would have created all this shit just for it to go this badly after we've all been through so much? And there are a lot of angels here. There are a lot of good people here who are really not okay with the way things are, but they don't know, at least I feel like they might be having trouble finding out exactly what to do, because we've been told our whole lives to be dependent on this government. You know, we've been paying them money. So in a lot of it, it's not just that. I can see why people even feel like this is fucked up on multiple different levels, because we've been paying these people our attention, our money, our trust, all these things, and they're just stabbing us in the fucking back. And, you know, everybody's still trying to look for all these different loopholes to try to change things in the government, or find little fucking avenues, or, you know, tentacles of the government that they can use to fucking do things. And, you know, I'm not saying those things aren't there. What I am saying though is that there's a more powerful way to go about doing it, in my opinion, and it's just about doing the work that needs to be done based on the problem at hand. You know, if we have a supply chain problem, the hemp covers all that shit. You know, if we have a problem with capitalism and corruption and greed, let's flip the script on that shit and start working for love. You know, simple things like that will really change the whole infrastructure in the area of the land that we live in. And with the internet, we can share these ideas with everybody. And, you know, the stream I did with Yana and Joshua and everybody else yesterday it was powerful, and it got me, you know, I haven't really talked to that many different types of people in a while. And, you know, the consensus I got from everybody I exchanged energy with was relatively good. You know, I felt like a lot of people really, even though it got heated for not too long, I got more heated probably than anybody, but all in all, y'all were trying to help me. You know, you guys weren't being super mean, and even though I kind of made it seem like that way, but I'm sensitive, you know, it is what it is. But my point is, like, you know, I don't, you know, this is Yana's channel, of course, but from a spiritual movement perspective, there is, I think, perhaps, well, there's always an opportunity, but it's again, it's about the willingness of others too. But it is a idea that I'm open to, you know, work with if others are, in regards to, you know, putting our heads together and figuring out this movement. And I'll just be honest too, you know, I brought up Matthew McConaughey yesterday, and he's got a YouTube channel y'all can go and check out. He has made a video saying how he does not want to be the governor, and he wants to be somebody who helps entrepreneurs out. And then on top of that, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, I've left him comments on his YouTube page, which is a very large channel, so it's, you know, he gets a lot of comments. But I did get, somebody in his crew, I think, sent me a comment back with the addition of his WhatsApp number, and pretty much saying, like, hey, you know, I'm fucking, you know, you can hit me up for, you know, I mean, when you're saying that, you're reaching out to somebody saying, if you want to communicate, I'm here. So, you know, and that was months ago, like probably two months ago or so, maybe a little bit more. But I don't even like bringing it up, because I'm not trying to use that as a way to show you guys that, like, I'm onto something or anything like that. My proof is in the pudding. But I am trying to share with you guys, because we're at, every day I look at YouTube and shit, and I feel how much less, you know, love is winning in some senses. I mean, some of us, the thing about it is, when it's lacking in others, it goes to others who have more of it. So then those others who have more of it get more of it. But that's not really what us who receive a lot of that want. We want to share it with everybody. But at the same time, I got to roll with what I got to get. So if I'm feeling this way, this abundance, I'm going to share the abundance in the right way, which is to help other people be more abundant. So, you know, again, this is me making a video saying, like, if people want to start putting our heads together to figure out something we can all actually do, and with the honest type of platform and interaction ability, you know, I mean, it starts with us speaking together and figuring out a way to change these problems. If people, and I felt like a lot of goodness came from people on her page, so it might be something that they are interested in, maybe something that Yana's interested in, I'm not sure. You know, but I thought I'd make a video here and just share what's on my mind and some possibilities that I see could possibly happen. So, all right, I love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.